Right, Amazon Jungle? Do your worst. I'm a cantankerous billionaire duck armed with a pogo cane, and I will go silently into the night. This better be important, Launchpad. I mean, hello?
Hey TAP-G, how's it going?
Depends. Who are you and how did you get this number?
It's me, Brandon the Bambi Man, the host of Golden Ticket Reviews.
So, what, you're a superhero who's out to avenge deer mothers?
What? No, that's an entirely different deer superhero you're thinking of. Super Rudolph. TAP-G, you didn't forget, did you?
Impossible! I never forget anything. I forgot how to forget things. What do you think I forgot? Yeah, wait, face son of a jackanapes!
We're supposed to do a crossover review today.
Crossover like the Avengers? Or, yeah, Brigadoon Brain Bozo! More like a Simpsons meets Family Guy kind of crossover.
More like a crossover review. You know, we're supposed to review Circle of Life, an environmental fable. The only thing less boring than Matthew Broderick.
Give me a sec. Hey, SurferClock, buddy! We're supposed to do an episode today, right?
Yeah, in about 2 minutes. Why?
We're reviewing Circle of Life?
What? No. We did that like a year ago. We're doing the Star Wars launch bay.
Give me a sec. Bambi bro, El Duderino. About all what you just said.
Can I just take a moment to say how stoked I am to discuss The Lion King on your show with you guys? It's like one of my favorite movies, and that new Lion Guard show is just so cool! And now I get to rip apart a terrible attraction with you guys.
Give me a sec. SurferClock, have we reviewed any other Lion King attractions?
The only other ones I'm aware of are the Legend of the Lion King puppet show that Magic replaced, and Animal Kingdom's Festival of the Lion King.
Yeah, comes and killed of a Nessie!
What?
I mean, Give me a sec. Super Bambi, buddy! I review something so paltry. Are you familiar with the grand musical spectaculaire known as Festival of the Lion King?
Well, sure, right?
Phantasmical! Good news, everyone! Today we're going to review Festival of the Lion King!
We're what?
We are?
Yes! Festival of the Lion King!
Does this mean we're totally scrapping the Star Wars launch bay script Sir Phineas and Tapford took 6 weeks to write, and all 67 sound effects we have on file?
Apparently! This is Festival of the Lion King. Speakerphone.
Okay, let's start at the beginning. We talked extensively about The Lion King and its massive impact on popular culture and the Disney Company. 4 years later, Disney opened its fourth and most ambitious theme park in Florida, Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Disney's Animal Kingdom, it's many, many things, but remember it's not a zoo!
Oh, shut up. Yes, you are a zoo. You can't pretend you're not.
So, when Animal Kingdom was being developed, a Lion King attraction was necessary. Sure, there was already Circle of Life at Epcot and Legend of the Lion King at Magic Kingdom, but a Lion King attraction at the park about animals, the jungle, and the Pride of Africa? What a novel idea!
In our Poseidon's Fury episode, we discussed the genesis, development, and lack of execution of Disney's Beastly Kingdom, a section of Animal Kingdom dedicated to dragons, unicorns, and other such fantasia. Well, not that fantasia, I mean...
If I recall, it went something like this. Let's build a park about animals, dinosaurs, and mythical creatures. Oh, boy! Well, let's wait a bit on the mythical thing. Money's kind of tight, so let's make it about camping. What? But we'll build it later. Oh, boy, where dog is? Actually, never mind. What? Who likes Avatar? The awesome Nickelodeon show? Of course not! Oh.
Yeah, pretty much.
When Beastly Kingdom was shuttered, they had to put something in the area as a temporary placeholder. The result was Camp Mini Mickey, an Adirondack-themed area made to look like a campground. From the campfire guitar ambiance music to the rustic wooden architecture
to the stealing concrete auditorium found in most North American ecosystems. What, you didn't see the one at Bambi?
Well, since opening day, it's been one of Animal Kingdom's biggest hits, drawing sizable crowds each performance.
They frequently brag about being the most popular show in Walt Disney World, though I question that claim. Does that include nighttime shows and parades? What about the Frozen Sing-Along? Indiana Jones Epic Stunt Spectacular? Phantasmic? Captain EO and its majestic Spinny Rock?
I think Spinny Rock is in a long-term relationship with some jerk with a camera.
TMZ says the divorce will be finalized soon.
Tell me you didn't just go there.
Spinny Rock seen canoodling with Pride Rock last night in LA for Saucy Weekend. Harvey Levin wouldn't report this unless it was true and relevant!
Just how full is your jar for stealing Channel Awesome jokes, SurferClock?
Enough for 3 trips to Disneyland, including round-trip airfare.
I am a man!
Moving on. In January of 2014, almost 2.5 years after the announcement of
Previously on Avatar.
Camp Mini Mickey was closed to make way for
Avatar.
and that meant closing down Festival of the Lion King and its much less popular sibling, Pocahontas and her Forest Friends, though the latter had been closed since 2008.
Pocahontas, the brand muffin of Disney princesses.
If Pocahontas is a muffin, does that make Elsa a cupcake with icing?
Well, I finally have a use for this clip.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
You guys can go to Smoo.
So in June of that same year, the Africa section of the park doubled in size to add the Harambe Marketplace, a slew of African-themed eateries off to the east. On the western half, a brand new auditorium was built and heavily decorated in authentic African theming. At last, a true, fresh, not lazy at all show building, carefully crafted to look and feel 100%
Exactly like the old on the inside. Bleachers, concrete floor, the steel beams, the works. Because if you can't replicate Africa in a theater, or at least give it a Lion King feel, the cheap way out works too.
When the show begins, 4 performers come out to rally the audience, and we sit back and really hope this isn't politically incorrect in some way. Why? These performers are Kiyume, Nakawa, Kibibi, and Zawadi, all dressed in traditional African tribe clothing that we hope has some basis in reality and not some imperialist amalgamation perspective to reinforce ethnic stereotypes of various African cultures.
But Disney's better than that, right? Okay, point taken.
The hosts drum up audience enthusiasm by having each of the 4 sections make noises for their respective animals. Elephants trumpet, lions roar, warthogs grunt, and giraffes, Okay, wow, what is this, 2006? Does anyone even get that joke?
Then come the floats to decorate the arena, and if you think the reuse of the camels for Magic Carpets of Aladdin bordered on lazy, check this. The 4 floats in Festival of the Lion King, one with a giraffe, one with an elephant, one with Simba, and one with Pumbaa, are all from Disneyland's Lion King parade from the 90s. After all, it blends in so well with all the Lion King show in Africa, that looks like a garage. Oh, and do ignore the cast members in black polos, black shorts, and headsets setting up the giant foam mats in the center of the arena. Just be distracted by the African-style remix of your favorite Lion King songs.
Pumbaa and Simba are represented by the puppets on the floats, but Timon comes out and walks around using his fully articulate eyes and mouth to emote all his not Nathan Lane-ness. And from there, the show proceeds in much the same way as the Country Bear Jamboree. The hosts MC the show, Timon provides the witty banter, then they perform a song.
Hosts MC, Timon banters, perform a song.
MC banter song.
Lather, rinse, repeat ad nauseum.
It's tempting to label this format as either formulaic or lazy, but holy smokes, look at the performers! They do about 10 shows a day, and the amount of enthusiasm they throw into every song and dance is incredible! They are clearly giving it their all in every show.
The musical numbers themselves are basically remixes of the movie songs. Circle of Life, I Can't Wait to Be King, Be Prepared, Hakuna Matata, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Even The Lion Sleeps Tonight finds its way into the show. But it's not just choreography, singing, and costumes. There's gymnastics from the Tumble Monkeys, there's a fire dancer, even getting young kids involved in the finale showstopper number. It's a lot of intensity for a 30-minute show based off a 90s cartoon about lions.
At least they're not chastising us about not protecting the environment.
So guys, what do you think? Does it win the What's the Attraction seal of approval?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Most definitely.
This is such an awesome show.
If I had to pick just a few words to describe it, I would say it's very vibrant, it's colorful, very energetic. And, you combine all these together with, an audience of all ages, this is kind of a perfect show for a theme park environment.
The costumes are outstanding. The choreography is amazing. The music is beautiful. It's you know what this is? This is actually a perfect intermediary show for any parent that wants to segue their kids into the Broadway performance of The Lion King.
I hadn't actually thought about that before, but you raise a really strong argument.
You got the characters there, but you definitely got the authenticity of Africa. It kind of mixes it in there.
And the Broadway show is definitely all out with the kind of that Africa theming and everything else. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's an all-human cast, as it were. But you know what? Another really great thing about this show, too, and something that I really happen to like myself, I was a Lion King kid growing up, so I love the songs from the Lion King. They never really got old to me. Some people I know, yeah, you're sick of hearing Hakuna Matata for the 10,000th time.
Yeah, for me, I always love the Lion King songs, but I'm one of those people where I always like the lesser popular stuff, so I don't hate them or even dislike them. They're just, okay, let's hear something different. But even here, they're really, really good.
Yes, the music for the show is actually, you know, remixed, and it sounds good and fresh each time. I have no issues with the music for this. I mean, you would think that it sounds so different that it's, you know, almost not inviting, but it really is. It's familiar enough where you're still, if you know the lyrics, you're gonna sing along, like I sometimes do. But yeah, the music in the show is nothing short of incredible. It's every bit as catchy as the film, in my opinion.
And that's pretty much all the wonderful things we have to say about the show, because now we have to start getting into the nitpicky side of things. And the big one is the interior.
Yeah, the interior could use a little bit of imagination. But
First of all, let's just say, again, that the exterior looks amazing. It does look like something straight out of an African village, this Harambe that it looks stunning. The old one used to look like a shed.
yes, I was going to say that this is a much, much, much needed improvement from the old one. But while you've got the great exterior, they did not at all change the inside. At all.
Well, to be fair, the acoustics are better.
They are slightly better, but I think that's part of that has to do with the soundtrack itself. You know, they may have actually gone and redone some of that.
Probably.
And, you know, with new speakers and everything else, the show has never sounded better.
At least you could say with the old one that they ran out of time and money, so they just had to make do with what they had, especially knowing that area's history. But now that they had a chance to start over and really dedicate it to this, really just not even improve?
Why didn't they at least do something with the benches? You know, paint them green, for goodness sakes.
Make them like logs covered in moss. Make the railings like vines or something. I mean, there's so much you could do. There's no minimal effort that you could put into this to make it feel like the jungle, and they just went with making it look like, again, for lack of a better word, a garage.
Maybe they didn't want to change the aesthetic. Maybe they wanted to keep it the same for, you know, I can't even think of a reason to justify that. I really cannot.
Maybe it's the whole if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality. I guess not enough people complained, but that's about as far as I can go with that train of thought.
The main problem with this is that, you know, you have this amazingly intricately themed and detailed show. Seeing those steel girders, knowing that you're in a building watching a performance, that's really distracting.
Especially when those benches are no better than the ones at your high school gymnasium.
Yeah, they're a little tough on the bottom, but,
Yeah.
you know, when you've been walking around a theme park all day, I guess beggars can't be choosers.
Pretty much. That being said, I mean, my nitpicks for this are a little more, well, nitpicky for lack of a better word.
Sure.
The first one I want to bring up is that Timon in the show is kind of annoying. In the three Lion King movies, when Nathan Lane played Timon, he wasn't a perfect character, but he did have an inherent charm to him. I mean, he's just his sense of confidence and his charisma. Anytime when he's not voiced by Nathan Lane, they just kind of give him this jerky, snarky, weaselly, almost con man aspect to him. And while that's not fully pushed forth in the stage show, he still has that egotism about him that just kind of rubs you the wrong way in this show.
It's the voice. It really is the voice, because Nathan Lane made it three-dimensional.
Yeah.
But, you know, in the same way that Robin Williams can't compare to Dan Castellaneta when you're talking about the genie, you know, there are certain elements that whoever did Timon's voice in both the cartoon and the stage show, they carried over some elements, but they didn't quite hit his character right.
I don't know. I think it has more to do with the writing than anything else, but I think the actor himself too. I mean, credit where credit's due. I mean, he does a great job, but there's just something about it that just really rubs me the wrong way.
It's almost, but it's not quite there. You tried.
And then finally, there's this one weird thing I think most people don't pick up on. It's the suspension of disbelief. Now, here's the thing. if this were a show where Simba or Timon came out and said, "Hi everybody, welcome to Festival of the Lion King. We're ready to do the show for you." There's an interaction there. There's a bond between you, the audience, and the character up on stage welcoming you to a show. It feels one-on-one, even though he's addressing the whole audience. But now you have these third-party people, Kiyume and the rest of the company, and now it's a third party talking about them. It's like, hey, our friends are coming to join us. And suddenly you realize, wait, there were no humans in The Lion King, so how do they know them? Why do they interact with them?
That is an interesting thread. I don't even think I've thought too much about that. I mean, they actually did kind of solve, quote-unquote, this problem. If you think about the Kingdom Hearts video game...
Oh, yeah, the second one.
Yes, Kingdom Hearts 2... They actually turned Sora and the gang into African animals. So they have more or less blended them in with the environment.
So you don't have to deal with that whole animals talking to people, people talking to animals kind of thing. At least with the audience, you could feel a connection because you're just watching animals go about their business. But here, it really interrupts the suspension of disbelief. It's
I've not thought much about this, but you're really kind of right. It is a little odd, but I mean, I suppose they couldn't figure out how to do it thematically correct, and they didn't want to just have...
Oh, like Rafiki or something. I guess that would
that would have worked even better.
I don't know, it would have worked, but I think it would have been a little overused, almost a little tropish.
Maybe you're right. But is it not completely tropish to have 4 people dressed in African garb? I mean, come on.
Point taken. Ultimately, though, here's the thing. It is a spectacular show. Just watching everyone just throw their all into it, having a blast with great songs, great choreography, great music. Is the interior less than stellar? Yes. Yeah. Are there nitpicky things about it that you can pick apart till the cows come home? Yeah. But it's still a good show, and I definitely recommend people to go check it out. I give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm going to say just about the same, a 3 out of 5. We don't really have any issues with the show. It's just everything that is framed around the show that can really use, a bit of plussing. Come on, Imagineering. Where are you guys at? All right, so that's going to be a 3 out of 5 from SurferClock and a 3 out of 5 from TAP-G.
Festival of the Lion King is accessible to everyone, especially those in wheelchairs and scooters. Assistive listening is available, as well as a handheld captioning and sign language interpretation.
So it's pretty good? Recommended?
I'd say so, for a few viewings.
If not for nothing, go see it to support the performers, who really seem to give it their all each time around. The costumes, the choreography, the music, it's all extremely impressive. Go check it out.
Well, this has been a delightful cross-review type thing. Can't wait for the con, but we got scripts to review, celebrities to mock. You get it. It's the business, Super Bambi.
So that's it? I join you guys in a review and now you're just giving me the boot?
Our people will call your people. We'll do lunch. Call my agent.
Well, maybe now I want one of you guys to do a crossover in one of my reviews.
That sounds reasonable.
Of course, I could always ask for a cut of your ad revenue.
We don't do ads.
Then we have a problem.
The way I see it, I think TAP-G owes you a cameo.
What?
Sweet! Can I borrow him to review Circle of Life? I need to review it for my show, and it's a long ways away from Texas.
Sure thing. Have fun.
SurferClock!
So, TAP-G, it looks like I'm going to need you to watch it 5 or 6 times in order to do a proper review. And be sure to take notes.
Can I at least ride Soren in between each viewing?
Nope, on a time crunch. Well, anyway, I'm Brandon the Bambi Man.
And I'm SurferClock. That sobbing mess over there is TAP-G.
And thanks for listening to What's the Attraction, where their work is your vacation.